Hi everybody, I hope you're enjoying this last week before Halloween. I know I'm super excited because like I said, Halloween is my favorite holiday and I love spooky stuff. So last week I showed you guys my special witchy cackle, which is a special thing I only do around Halloween. Now it's just a fun thing I can do. I'm not really a witch. And I told you guys I practice really hard to get good at it. So I thought this week I would do another witchy cackle for you, but I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. And then if you want to practice it and try it on your own, that's fine with me, as long as your parents are okay with you making witchy noises. Okay, so here's how I do it. First, I take in a really deep breath and I let out a high-pitched kind of squeal like, wee, like that. Okay, so it's like high, breathe in and go, wee, like that. And when I'm doing that noise, I push all the air out of my belly. Okay, it's actually not your belly. It's a part of your muscle. It's a muscle right under your rib cage that's called your diaphragm. That's what I use to push out all the air. And then as I run out of air when I'm doing that squeal, then I go ha, 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 ha. Okay, with the rest of my air. So it's a deep breath, whee! And then as you run out of air, you go ha, 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 ha. Okay, so let me do one for you right now, okay? Let me get a deep breath, get into character. Woo! Okay, so that's how you do it. It's a high and then a okay, guys? So if you want to practice that, go for it, okay? As long as your parents are okay with you making witch noises, of course. But if you think your witch cackle's really good, or if you think it's better than mine, I want to see it, okay? So if you can, video yourself and then email it to me, and I would love to see your witchy cackle. And bonus points if you are in costume, okay? That would be even better. All right, guys? So send me your witchy cackles if you want to try it. So this book that we're going to read is about a girl who loves Halloween and loves scaring people. And her name is Mary McScary. And this book is actually written by an author who usually writes chapter books for older students. His name is R.L. Stine, and he is a really well-known chapter book author. And if you have older brothers and sisters who like scary books, they probably know his series called Goosebumps. It's one of the most famous horror series for older elementary school students. So this is a very well-known author who's writing this book, and the illustrations are by Mark Brown. So this is Mary McScary. Meet Mary McScary. She likes to be scary. She doesn't shout boo, she shouts boo! Beware of Mary McScary. Mary scares her dad at breakfast. Mary scares her mom at lunch. Is Mary scary at dinner? You betcha. Beware of Mary McScary. Mary McScary has fun scaring dogs. She likes to scare goldfish too. Mary's so scary, she could scare a balloon. Beware of Mary McScary. Mary can scare just about everyone, except Harry McScary. Harry is Mary McScary's cousin. Harry is coming to visit. Harry does not find Mary scary. Will Mary scare Harry? Today is the day I will finally scare Harry. I can't wait. I can't wait to make him scream. Mary gets ready. She puts on her scariest, hairiest costume. She opens the door with a roar. But Harry is not scared of Mary. Nice hairdo, Mary. Mary McScary tries again. Maybe giant spiders will scare Harry. Look out! Giant spiders! Aw, I love spiders. So cute and cuddly. I'll show you something scary, Harry. Watch out! Gorilla! Wild and ferocious gorilla! Whee! Look, Harry's riding the gorilla. I don't think he's very scared of it. Mary McScary knew this just wouldn't do. I know, slippery, slimy snakes for Harry. Now that's scary. Aw, you give the best hugs. Look, Harry's hugging the snakes. I don't think he's very scared of the snakes. Now, to be honest, if it was me, I'd be scared to death because I don't like snakes. But Harry, he's hugging them. I'll get you, Harry. Now this cat says, don't try this at home, kids. Mary says, help! I'm being eaten by a giant hungry hippo. And then Harry's tickling the hippo and he says, Gucci, 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 goo. I could tickle a hippo all day. I give up. But wait, there's only one thing left to do. Uh-oh. What do you think Mary is going to do to finally scare her cousin Harry? Any ideas? Let's see what she does. You win, Harry McScary. Nothing scares you. And she turns to kiss him. Ew! I told you I was scary. Beware of Mary McScary. The end. So that was Mary McScary, written by R.L. Stine, illustrations by Mark Brown. So this book is called Haunted House, Haunted Mouse, and it is written by Judy Cox with illustrations by Jeffrey Ebler. One October night, the doorbell rang. Mouse peeked out of his hidey hole. The night was dark. The dark was spooky. On the front porch stood a fearsome trio, a skeleton, a goblin, and a ghost. But Mouse wasn't scared. His whiskers twitched as he watched. Trick or treat, said the skeleton. Trick or treat, said the goblin. Tick or teat, said an itty-bitty ghost when she tripped over her sheet. The three held out their sacks. Dad plopped one piece of candy in each bag. Thank you, called the kids. The ghost dropped her sack and goodies spilled out. Mouse's mouth watered. Yum! He wanted trick-or-treat treats too. While everyone helped the ghost, Mouse scrambled into the trick-or-treat sack. Candy! More candy than Mouse had ever seen. Sour balls, gumdrops, lollipops, and chocolate bars. Mouse closed his eyes and inhaled deeply. His whiskers wiggled. He simply didn't know where to begin. He nibbled on this and noshed on that until his cheeks were as plump as a chipmunk's. Just then, the bag swung high in the air. Where were they going? Mouse gnawed a peekaboo hole in the paper sack. Dark clouds flitted over the moon. Jack-o'-lanterns sent beams of golden candle shine flickering across front lawns. Flocks of trick-or-treaters scurried from door to door. Mouse didn't see the candy leaking out piece by piece through his peekaboo hole. The sack swayed like a pirate ship in a gale. Mouse's tummy roiled. His head spun. Poor seasick Mouse. The next time the ghost dropped her sack, Mouse staggered out. Just then, it started to rain. First a drizzle, then a full-out gully washer. The trick-or-treaters dashed for home, holding their coats over their heads. Boom went the thunder. Flash went the lightning. Away went Mouse. He darted here and there, dodging raindrops, splashing through puddles. Where could he find shelter? He was lost. He was wet. He was cold. An abandoned house stood by itself down at the end of the street. The door was barely open, just wide enough for Mouse. Lickety-split, he scampered inside. He didn't notice the sign on the front. Keep out. The door slammed shut behind him. Was that the wind? Or was that the house haunted? Mouse tiptoed down the hall to see what he could see. Cobwebs draped over his ears. The house was old. The house was empty. A spooky house filled with creaks and groans and things that went bump in the night. He heard bones rattle, a skeleton dancing. He saw eyes glimmer, a goblin prancing. A pale shape floated past, a ghost haunting. Mouse shook, Mouse shivered, Mouse shuddered. He backed up, step by careful step, until he was against the wall, trapped. But Mouse was not afraid. "Boo!" he cried, as bold as a badger. "I'm not afraid of you." Outside the house, the wind blew away the clouds. Moonlight shone in the windows, revealing bamboo wind chimes jiggling. No skeleton. A green frog croaking. No goblin. Torn curtains fluttering. No ghost. The storm was over. Mouse jumped out the window. He was ready to go home to his safe, dry hidey hole. But how could he find his way back? All at once, he saw a cherry lollipop shining in the moonlight. He picked it up. Farther down the sidewalk, he spied a sour ball. And under the street lamp, he spotted a scattered row of candy corn. Piece by piece, he followed the candy trail all the way home. There in his hidey hole, he had a Halloween party of his very own. Good night, spooky night. Happy trick or treat. So that is Haunted House, Haunted Mouse. I hope you enjoyed it.